Welcome to the Deep Dive. We sift through the noise, find the facts, and bring you the insights that matter. Today, we're diving into defense. Two big areas grabbing headlines: land systems, especially the race for counter-drone tech, and major moves in the naval world with a frigate design that's making waves globally.
That's right. Our mission for you today, to get beyond just what's happening. We want to explore why it matters, what it signals about, defense buying, partnerships, the whole picture. Really, it's about getting you properly informed, fast.
Okay, let's unpack this. Starting on land, with Project Land 156, big news. Leidos is in as the land systems integrator. That's a hefty $45.9 million contract, adding to, about $34 million they already had. It feels like a serious push forward for this program.
Oh, absolutely. And what's really striking here is the speed, the acceleration. This isn't just ticking a box. It signals a different way of doing things. Major General Vaj put it quite bluntly. He said they want to avoid buying like an iPhone 15 now, but not delivering it until 2028.
Huh. Yeah, that paints a picture.
It really does. It hammers home the urgency. They need capability now, not years down the track. It's a real shift away from those traditionally slower processes.
That shift is clear, definitely. But when we talk capability now, what does that actually look like on the ground? What are we talking about, weaponry-wise?
Good question. The specifics are key. We're looking at EOS mounts, okay? But the weapon itself, it's not just any 30mm Bushmaster. It's specifically the 30 by 113mm M230 LF Bushmaster chain gun, we call the Slinger cannon.
The Slinger, right.
And it's crucial for counter-UAS because it can fire high explosive rounds, obviously, but also proximity fuse rounds.
Ah, proximity, so it doesn't need a direct hit.
Exactly. It explodes near the drone, throws out shrapnel, super effective against small, fast movers, especially when it's, slaved into a detector system for targeting. And yeah, EOS is clear. This M230 is designated a Bushmaster.
Okay, so the M230 LF is a smart answer to these nimble drone threats. That near-miss capability must make a huge difference. And this all ties into that wider push on UAS and counter-UAS, doesn't it? Mr. Conroy's really pushing this. What's the big driver?
Well, what's fascinating is the sheer amount of evidence coming from overseas showing why it's so urgent. I mean, look at Ukraine targeting Russian assets, or the Israeli strike on Iran using drones.
Right.
But it's not just high-end military stuff. Think about a simple bottle rocket or a basic drone taking out a power substation. That's a real threat now.
A tangible threat, yeah.
It's immediate. It's not theoretical. It needs a fast, effective answer to protect not just troops, but, critical infrastructure, civilians.
And industry is clearly responding. It's not just Leidos and EOS. You've got Acacia, L3 Harris, Drone Shield, Ecodine, ABEN, Atom, Department 13. That's a pretty broad church of companies feeding into this, offering different capabilities to the ADF.
It is, and that breadth is vital. But it also raises a really important, almost fundamental question.
Which is
the cost, the strategic cost challenge. If you're consistently shooting down, say, $1,000 drones with $100,000 missiles, well, you might win the engagement, but you're losing the economic fight.
That's not sustainable long term.
Not at all. So effective counter-UAS, it can't just be one thing. It has to be systems. A smart mix of kinetic things that go bang and non-kinetic, like electronic warfare, jamming, spoofing.
Layered defense.
Exactly. It's a strategic calculation. As drones get cheaper, the answer isn't just a bigger gun, it's a cost-effective system that makes attacking too expensive for the other side. That's the shift.
Which brings us nicely to these innovative lower-cost options, like AIM Defense down in Melbourne.
Yeah, they're doing fascinating work, high-energy lasers. They're talking about costs equivalent to maybe, 50 cents per shot?
50 cents? That's incredible.
It's potentially a game changer. Imagine a swarm scenario.
Yeah.
Maybe EW takes out a chunk of them. But for the ones that get through, or maybe more advanced ones, immune to jamming, a laser like that offers a super cheap way to engage. It means you save your more expensive kinetic weapons like that M230 LF for the really high-end threats.
Like the fully autonomous AI drones, or maybe those ones trailing fiber optic cables? Harder to jam?
Precisely. You optimize your response across the whole threat spectrum without breaking the bank.
So it's about having the right tool for the right target at the right cost. It really underlines that drones are, a vital weapon, but there's no single silver bullet solution.
Absolutely not. You need that robust, multi-layered defense. A single point of failure is just too risky.
Okay, let's switch gears then. Moving from land to sea, but still thinking about long-term strategic investments. Norway choosing the Type 26 frigate. That's another big win for this design, isn't it? Joining the UK, Canada, Australia. It's becoming quite the global standard.
It really is. And for Australia, of course, this is huge because the Type 26 is the reference design for our Hunter-class frigates, being built by BAE Systems down in Adelaide. Program kicked off, well, design chosen in 2018, and they're starting to cut steel on the first ship, HMAS Hunter, next year, 2025.
Now, there's been chatter, some skepticism. People call the Hunter class a big, expensive ship that's taking a long time. How does defense respond to that, especially with these fast, cheap threats like drones popping up?
Well, the defense argument is pretty consistent. They stress that for Australia, with our relatively small Navy but massive maritime area to cover,
Huge area. Yeah.
we absolutely need a high-end multi-role frigate. It comes back to that balancing act, doesn't it? Seeking the perfect solution versus a good enough one delivered on time. The view is that a perfect ship delivered 10 years too late doesn't actually meet the need. For Australia's situation, the Type 26, despite the cost and timeline, is deemed the right capability mix. It's about presence, deterrence, control over vast distances.
And the Norway decision, looking at the geopolitics, that's really telling, isn't it? It speaks volumes about the Norway-UK relationship.
Oh, definitely. It highlights that quite tight geopolitical alignment, as you said. The UK has been Norway's key security partner for over a decade. They share this critical operational task, watching that Greenland-Iceland-UK gap, keeping tabs on Russian subs coming out of Murmansk or the Baltic into the Atlantic. It's vital for both of them.
A shared problem needing a shared solution, essentially.
Exactly. And Norway looked around. They considered French, German, U.S. options.
Yeah.
But they went with the Type 26, believing it was the best ship and the UK was the right strategic partner. And interestingly, unlike Australia's Hunter class, which will have some unique Aussie elements like our combat system,
Right, tailored for us.
Norway and the UK are aiming for their ships to be as identical as possible. That really underscores the strategic trust and the desire for deep interoperability. It sends a strong signal.
It certainly does. But back here, that public perception issue. The Hunter class often gets tagged as troubled in media reports. It feels like sometimes that narrative takes hold, maybe because there's a lack of regular positive information flow. Reminds me a bit of the troubled Taipan helicopter saga.
That's a fair point. And the Taipan experience is probably, a cautionary tale about how narratives can form and public trust can be affected, which really highlights why transparency from defense is so important. If the Hunter program is making good progress, if it's bringing in sovereign Australian industry and skills,
Which is a key goal.
exactly, then there's real value in showing that. Invite journalists, let them see the work, answer the tough questions. It helps counter negativity and builds confidence that taxpayer money is delivering real capability.
Proactive communication seems key. Just quickly, while we're on naval stuff, the keel's been laid for the last Arafura OPV, hasn't it? Ship number 6 to be named New Ship Carparia.
That's right. And the first 3 Hunters have their names too. Hunter, Flinders, and Tasman. Firmly Australian names.
Good to know.
It does feel like maritime news is dominating right now, doesn't it? Lots happening there.
Yeah, it seems that way.
But don't count out the other services. Expect more news from Air Force soon. Peregrine, Triton updates, and definitely from land, with Land 400 and Hanwha ramping up vehicle production. It's busy across the board.
Okay, so let's pull this together. Recapping our deep dive today. We've seen this really accelerated push in land systems, especially counter-UAS, focusing on speed, layered defenses, and, crucially, cost-effectiveness. And then on the naval side, the Type 26 frigate continuing its global success story, highlighting the deep connection between major defense projects, international partnerships, and complex geopolitics.
So what does this all mean for you listening in? Well, it paints a picture of a defense world juggling multiple priorities. You've got these urgent tactical responses to immediate threats like drones demanding agility and innovation, even low-cost solutions. And happening at the same time, these huge, long-term, high-value investments in strategic platforms like frigates. All of this playing out within this, complex web of global alliances and evolving ways of buying defense kit.
It's definitely a balancing act, urgent needs versus long-term strategy.
A very delicate one.
Which leads to maybe a final thought for you to consider. As we watch these defense shifts, how does a nation like Australia really strike that balance? Balancing the absolute need for adaptable, immediate capabilities, like anti-drone tech, with these incredibly complex, decades-long, high-cost investments like frigates. Especially when the threats themselves seem to be changing faster than ever, something to mull over. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.